Yo, what's happening, everybody? Hope you had a good last couple days, and welcome in to the weekend. I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're ready for a whole crap ton of nerdy talk, because we got a lot to talk about. Lou and Prez already up in here. What's up, boys? How you doing? Welcome, and welcome to one and all, whether you be active in the chat, be lurking, or be catching the replay. I appreciate your time and attention, and frankly, tolerance. So fill your cup and start puffing on that smoke. And get ready. It's about to get nerdy up in this bitch. Hi there. How is everyone doing tonight? There's a lot to talk about tonight. I am ready to run my mouth. I hope you're ready to listen. Griff is up in here. What's going on, man? What's happening? How is everybody tonight? Had a pretty good day today myself. It was my grandson's second birthday today. Had his party earlier. He loved all his toys. It was fun. It's a good day. Not too bad. Not too bad, Griff. How about you? If I had a bigger channel, I bet you I could get Diet Coke to sponsor me. Or Coca-Cola Company in the form of Diet Coke. Maybe, possibly. So what's happening with everybody? Let me know. Have ourselves a little catch-up before we get into all the goodness. Hashtag ketchup on toast. There's Brooke. What's going on, man? What's happening? Smudge, I know you want to play fetch, but it's not happening right now, buddy. Daddy's streaming. I know. You're so cute, and you're so adorable when you bring your favorite shoelace toy to play fetch, but I can't play fetch. I love my cat. Librarian, what's going on, man? Doing a quick sound test before doing a watch along for Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Hope you have a good stream. Well, I hope you have a good watch along, bro. I mean, those Fox Fantastic Four movies aren't bad. I mean, they're not great, but they're not bad. Enjoy watching the Galactus cloud. Brooke says, oh, watch the new Transformers film. It was pretty good. I keep hearing that. They should have made better trailers because I did not find any of the trailers they released impressive, or nor did any of them encourage me to want to go see that movie. But now people whose opinions I trust are out there in the zeitgeist. Mostly YouTubers, I admit. But, yes, many people are singing the praises of Transformers 1. So now I'm friggin' curious. Griff's enjoying a steak at home? Nice. It's been quite the week. Quite the week in a good way or a bad way? Like, what's happening with you? Spidey, the 2005 was so much better than the 2015. Yeah. I mean, the 2015 one was all right until they turned Doctor Doom into a really, really bad version of the T-1000. That was heresy, is what that was. That was heresy. That was horrible what they did to Doom. Let's talk about the Penguin. Oh, we're going to talk about the Penguin. We're going to talk about the Penguin. We're going to talk about Agatha. Yes, I actually want to talk about Agatha because I found it to be a pretty good show so far. And of course, you know, other various things that have been flying around the Twidex zeitgeist lately, and the trades. I don't need that up anymore. Most notably, the subject of which I made the thumbnail, which is the New Deal coming in between Sony and Marvel Studios. And then we get to speculate on what it could all mean. You're going to definitely watch all of the Fantastic Four films before the newest one comes out, Brooke? You're not going to just spare yourself 2015? I mean, the Fox ones, like I said, Fox ones ain't bad. They're not great, but they're not bad. The 2015 one is an abomination, or at least the third act is an abomination. One thing, I will say this, to be fair, though. To be fair, one thing I do like about the 2015 Fantastic Four is they actually made the Thing the appropriate size. Now, I know back when they were making the first ones, CGI was still a little rough, so I don't know. I still enjoy the Fox, the 2005 Thing, and, you know, the second one. But I did appreciate how they made the Thing look in the 2015 one. Like, he was huge. Like, appropriately comic huge. Not just a somewhat inflated rock-looking person. Which is what he was in the early Fox movies. So excited for Doom. Oh, coming up in the MCU, you mean? With RDJ? Hell yeah. Just watched oh yeah, Thursday night, right? Yeah. Yeah, I've gone back and watched them not super long ago. Earlier this year sometime. And it's hilarious seeing Chris Evans in that mode as opposed to Steve Rogers. The contrast is hilarious. Supposed to watch Rise next Thursday? Rise of the Silver Surfer. Norrin Rad. Damn, people got bored already? Oh well. If y'all don't like chit-chat and me checking in on my community, then you don't need to stay. As you just proved you don't want to. Whoops. Elbowing my damn saber again. So, Griff, you never said if it was quite the week in a positive way or quite a week in the negative way. and I want to know. You don't have to go into detail. I just want to know if it's the good way or the bad way. Excuse me. No. It's the motherfucking D-O-double-G. Cool. All right. Anybody have anything fun they want to share before we get into it? Yeah, we talked about that. Yes. I opened with it. Yeah, that was my opening. That was the first thing I talked about was the bug's second birthday today. Yep. Oh, positive, just working a lot. Started a part-time job, so free time has diminished. I feel that, bruh. Well, Rossi's not here, so I don't know if we need socks. Although, when we start talking about Agatha, we might. Talking about Catherine Hahn's cheekiness and Aubrey Plaza's existence. What the... Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad it was a positive week for you, Griff. That's the important part. All right, before we begin, Brooke found a cool video on how RDJ Dr. Doom will be eventually brought into Universe 616. Basically, he goes to 616 to get the quantum bands. Oh, the ones that was in the Marvels. Okay. In that video, basically, Doom wants those bands to reshape the multi... Oh, okay. So, yeah, throw that in the Discord, Brooke. I don't care if you put it in general or show us the goods. It's fun. That kind of thing's fine either way. Doom and Reed disagree on how Galactus will be dealt with. All right, Prez, do what you gotta do, man. I don't think anything like that's actually going to happen in the movie. Doom and Reed disagreeing on how Galactus will be dealt with, because Doom's awesome sauce. Thanks, Brooke. Because Doom's not even supposed to... Smudge, what the fuck are you doing? Excuse me 1 second. I have a cat being overly cat-like. Bro. I ate for you. And don't even try and jump up there and get it. Yeah, we're not supposed to see Doom hardly at all in the Fantastic Four movie. Basically, post-credit kind of thing. If he's in the main part, it ain't going to be till the last couple minutes. And by that time, decisions on Galactus will be made. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that is a good question. Where are you getting your dinner from tonight, Brooke? Well done, Griff. All right. I decided I'm having another Fireball stream. So cheers, chat. Here's to the weekend and all the fun nerdiness we about to talk about. Sláinte. Had a big lunch. A Charlie's sandwich. I'm going to assume that's a West Coast thing. But that does, like a big old sandwich for lunch does sound pretty good. I mean, I had pulled pork this afternoon at my grandson's second birthday party, along with my stepdaughter's baked mac and cheese and my mother-in-law's cheesy potatoes and some baked beans and then, of course, birthday cake. So, yeah. Charlie's Philly cheesesteaks. Oh, you had a big old cheesesteak. Nice. Damn, I got to get up to my old hometown. There's this place up there called Big John's Steak and Onion, and if you don't live in fucking Michigan, you don't know what the hell it is. But they do cheesesteaks. They're in the cheesesteak business, but they have their own red sauce. It's not ketchup. This consistency is somewhere between ketchup and like pure liquid salsa. It's in between there. Thank you, Brooke. But yeah, this sauce, it's delicious. It has a little bit of kick to it. I didn't even think about stopping for that on my way home from Frankenmuth when I went up there for my dad's birthday, or near there. I gotta remember next time I go up to Flint to bring home some Big John. Although it would work out better if you were there with me and we could eat it and it didn't have to be in the car for a fucking hour. I mean, there's that. That's a valid call. Buffalo chicken sandwich with fries. Nice. I only like buffalo occasionally. Like, I like it. But I just don't eat it very often. But it is good when I do. Yeah, we had his today was his actual birthday, and it worked out since it was a Saturday. We had his party this afternoon. It was a nice little party. You know, just the closest family and a couple of friends. It was cool. Good times. He loved all his presents. To varying degrees, depending, but he loved them all. I'm sure, like, ones he likes more today, he'll like a different one more tomorrow, and probably a different one the day after that, because, you know, 2-year-olds. 2-year-olds are very much like cats, I've found. They have a lot of very similar mannerisms. Of course, 2-year-olds, cats, and most of the population of Twitter are kind of all cat-like in the fact that they have approximately a 0.28 second attention span. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have to admit that my attention span has been shortened in this new culture that we're in. But nowhere near as badly. Hey, you shoosh, lady. I mean, I also have adult ADD, whether my therapist wants to actually diagnose me or not. The numbers are there. But if my emotional numbers are so damn high, he wants to get those down to see if the other ones go down with it. And I'm like, just give me my goddamn Adderall, motherfucker. Anyway. Where was I? What's up, Travis? Ah, shit. Are you already all plugged up? Travis just popped in, and where do you hear his sandwich? He had fried jumbo shrimp with Thai chili sauce on a sub roll with tomato and lettuce. Right? Hey, Travis, that Thai chili sauce, was that spicy chili or sweet chili? Yeah. Yeah. Brooks says, just searched up Doctor Doom Cold War era. Apparently there's a universe 7475, excuse me, where Doom teamed up with some villains to conquer the USSR in order to hold the superheroes in other countries at bay. That definitely sounds like something Doom would do. Except for when he was done with the villains, they'd end up being in prison too because, sweet but tangy, he says. Sweet but tangy. Right? Doesn't that sound good? I need a P.O. box so you guys can start sending me food. See, I mean, if you want to send me cool shit like people tend to send Josh, that's fine. But, like, just you send me dope food, I'll be happy. Only if you want to, though. But, yeah, if you guys ever decide I need a P.O. box, let me know. Night, love. Oh. Mrs. Chillin says goodnight, chat. Brooke says Doom would definitely run the USSR with a super tight grip. Oh, yeah. Probably would replace most of the soldiers with Doom bots or something. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Doom would make Putin look like a fucking Boy Scout, bro. Like, for real. Rob says, don't snort Adderall unless it's with Coca-Cola. I never planned on snorting Adderall, but thanks for the tip. Rob says, hi all and night boss lady. I don't know if she heard me. Oh, yeah, that's right. Which Burlington are you in, Travis? I spent a little bit of time in Burlington, North Carolina once for a few months. It was cool. Except for the night that they had an ice storm and literally the entire fucking town shut down. And I know this because my work called me and was like, we had an ice storm, don't come in. So I'm like, all right. So I decided to go rent a movie and like literally everything was everything was closed. I was the only car moving in the entire town. I didn't even see a fucking cop. And I'm just like, y'all some bitches. I'm from fucking Michigan. a little bit of sleet on the road ain't gonna bother me any. But obviously those who were born and raised in that area of North Carolina could not fucking handle that shit. So Brooke says, I remember in the Superman Red Sun movie. Oh, yeah, I got to watch that. Thank you for bringing that up. Reminds me, I do need to watch that. I haven't checked the DC area of Max in a minute, but I know that's in there somewhere because I seen it. Superman kills Stalin. Yeah. I imagine Doom would be brutal towards Stalin. Yep. Would be cool to see them bicker in some animated film. Doom and Stalin? That'd be a very short bicker session because Stalin would mouth off and then Doom would just fuck him up 6 ways from Sunday. So, Travis says Burlington, Vermont. Oh, up in New England. So, Travis is bougie, confirmed. Went there to see Richard Marx and Rick Springfield. Oh, yeah, who are awesome. But after 10 p.m., the streets are flooded with drunk college kids. That does not surprise me in the slightest. Red Sun is an awesome DC animation, Griff says. It looked cool. I don't like. I like Elseworld stuff or what ify stuff as long as it's done well and it's a cool story. Russian Batman is peak. Ooh. I didn't know they put a Russian Batman in the Red Sun thing. That sounds pretty fucking sweet, actually. That for real sounds pretty fucking sweet. All right. We ready to get into this shit? I'm ready to get into this shit. I'm going to leave this up to you, chat. We're going to talk about the shows first. Before we talk about any of the news, we're going to talk about Agatha, and we're going to talk about the Penguin. What I want to know from you guys is which one you want to talk about first. Brooke says there's a set of DC animated films culminating in this film called Justice League Dark Apocalypse. It's on my watch list for shows. Yeah. Oh, I didn't realize Dark Apocalypse had like a few lead-ups. I'm going to have to research that and then watch that shit in order. I will say I have watched the animated Flashpoint. So I know what the live-action Flash was supposed to be and completely failed to achieve. Griff says ladies first. Oh, you didn't catch Penguin? Dude. I know how much you love gangster shit. You will like this show. Travis says, for whatever reason, the animated in those animated DC films was really hard on my eyes, but I'll give them another shot. That is kind of wild. Having a specific style of animation fuck with your retinals that hard. And yes, I know it's retinas. I'm fucking around. Rick says, Justice League War World was good. Infinite Crises films Part 1 and 2 was okay, in my opinion. Need to watch the third one at some point. Oh, yeah, the third one did just come out not too terribly long ago, right? Oh, Brooke agrees about Russian Batman. All right, cool. I definitely need to add that to my list of shit I need to watch, which is already, like, Santa list length. There's so much stuff out there. So much stuff. What's up, David? Welcome in. How are you this for you late night, early morning? Stanley's. All right, British contingent showing up late. How you doing? Actually, I can't remember if Stanley's is British or not. Specifically, if he's in the other hemisphere or this one. Travis says, I would like a Nightfall trilogy set of films to see Jean-Paul Valley on screen in some form. Yeah, it's another story I need to familiarize myself with on my Santa Claus list of shit. Rob says, Third Crisis was good. Very true to the story. Well, that's good to know. Brooke says, would be cool if there was some animated film or series where Doom takes over USSR and Reed takes over US and the two have a Cold War battle of the minds. I like that. I like that, Brooke. That's a cool fucking idea, Bri. That is a cool idea. Do I know that Arcane Season 2 starts in November? I knew it was coming up soon. I didn't know it was in November. But I still got to watch Season 1. Tired but okay, David says. Thanks. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing pretty good. Doing pretty decent. Thank you for asking. Wow. 13 concurrent viewers. Well, thank all of you for being here. Really appreciate you. And if you want to get active in the chat, cool. If you just want to alert, cool. I just appreciate you giving me a shot if you're new, or hanging out again if you're not. But since you're all here, do me some favors. They're just small favors. They're super easy favors. Just tappy the like, and if you have not yet done so, tappy the subscribe and the notification bell. Just 3 quick little things. Tap, tap, tap if you're on a mobile device of some kind, or click, click, click if you're on a full desktop, or, you know, whatever device you have. It's super easy to do. And honestly, I want 84 more subscribers at least by the end of the year. So hit the buttons. Pretty please and thank you. Travis Mitchell says, I would like to see the world where Red Skull wins at the end of First Avenger. You are looking for the Secret Empire story. I believe, yeah, it's... You find out that in the background it was actually going on as far back as Civil War II, but the actual story came out after Civil War II. It's fucking sick. Yeah, check that out. Marvel Comics. Secret Empire. Yeah. That story is fucking dope. It was divisive when it came out. Like, highly divisive. And I understand why. But I'm on the side that it's fucking dope. Alrighty. I need to take control of this stream. And we are going to start talking about Agatha all along. But before that, Prost. Should have done that one first since I am mostly German. But, oh well. Thanks, Britt. Travis says, I would also love another comic book movie in the vein of Ninja Turtles 1990. Maybe Night Thrasher. Well, I'll tell you what, I haven't heard shit on it in a long time. But last I was aware, there is allegedly supposed to be an R-rated movie of The Last Ronin. And I read that book not that long ago, and that book is fucking sick. Rob says, we're talking bare asses on Disney+. Yes, we are. Or we will be. We will be. Yep. So, Wednesday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, Disney Plus did release the first 2 episodes of Agatha All Along. Oh, glad I like my picture on Facebook. Right. Just E, welcome in. Appreciate you stopping by. You love the first 2 episodes. Who do I think Teen is? It's Billy. It's Wiccan. It's definitely Wiccan. And I know there are other theories about there that he could be Nicholas Scratch, but no. Or Blackheart. No, people think Aubrey Plaza might be Blackheart. Now, who she actually is, that I'm not sure about. But I am 99.9% sure that Teen is Wiccan. But yeah. So, Griff says, Vader snapping kids' necks to open the door for Agatha's cheeks. I mean, it's entirely possible. I wouldn't mind opening the door to Agatha's cheeks. But anyway, that actually is the second episode. The first episode was all about her getting broke out of that there spell. What'd y'all think of, like, the cop stuff as far as it went? Just in general, just the cop part of that. I mean, we will get into what was shown and what have you, but and alluded to. But in general, what do y'all think about the cop part of the spell? Or hex, if you prefer. I personally, I thought it was overall pretty cool. Um, Catherine Hahn, I thought, walked the line between um, good overacting and just being fucking corny with a little bit of the way she handled some of that stuff with the cop. But overall, I liked it. I thought the cop theme was pretty cool. Yeah, they kind of changed that up, didn't they, Griff? The tone. But we'll get to that. The illusion was more interesting than the real life. I mean, kind of. Just E says, I smell Mephisto in this show. I mean, that's entirely possible. I mean, if you think about it, in the leaks and rumors about not just this show, but a couple other things that Disney's been thinking about, Ironheart. There's been a lot of Mephisto being kicked around coming into the MCU and where he's going to show up and all that shit. But and that Sacha Baron Cohen's going to be him. But, like, honestly, there's been nothing out there recently with any kind of actual foundation to it about when we'll see Mephisto, if it even still is Sacha Baron Cohen or anything like that. No fucking clue. No leakers or scoopers or anybody's talking about that shit. So, I mean, it's definitely possible. Totally possible. As a matter of fact, that's one of the more popular theories about Aubrey Plaza's character that's going around right now. Morgan Le Fay is another popular theory. There's another one that I can't remember right off the top of my head. But, yeah. Rob says, the cop's arc made for a good, miserable punishment. I mean, yeah. It also gave a good, convenient vehicle for the Scarlet Witch tie-in. Yes, it did. Yeah, did you guys like how they handled that? Like, basically making the corpse Wanda, and we know this because talking about how it looked like she was smashed, how they found dirt from Eastern Europe under her nails, how they absolutely refused to show her face on the scene or at any point in time, no matter what. And then, of course, the dead giveaway there towards the end on the library card, which, by the way, the date that her name showed up next to is my birthday. So, in a very, very small way, I got the Scarlet Witch on my birthday, and I am going to run with that shit. They seem to troll Acolyte Episode 3 with the witch chant, too. Well, there's no way they could have, because this show has been in the can for over a year. Like, it was done before the Acolytes chant was done, and yes, it is. But it was much, much better. Travis says, there's the obvious question of how the Hex is still active with Wanda gone. Either she isn't dead, or maybe this is someone continuing the Hex, or just reality. You think the Jane Doe is actually the Darkhold? Well, up until this point, last we knew of the Darkhold at the end of Multiverse of Madness, and I'm not even going to get into an argument about the awesomeness of that movie with people. It was awesome, so shut up. All the Darkholds are destroyed. Matter of fact, that was when in the library scene, when they went to the torched bookshelf, that was representative of that event. So, all the books are destroyed. The cave on Wondergore, in which all the carving on the wall, that is the Darkhold, is destroyed. At this point, the only place, like in the current spot now in the MCU timeline, the only place the Darkhold could possibly exist is in the mind of one Dr. Stephen Strange. And that is because Zombie Strange was in the cavern at Wondergore, and that motherfucker has photographic memory. Name of the book on book card spelled Darkhold. Oh, yeah. That was, well, Agatha wants the Darkhold. She didn't know it got destroyed because she was underneath the spell when it happened. But, yeah, the Jane Doe was part of the illusion. But it was part of the illusion to let Agatha know that Wanda was believed to be dead. Now, as for how the Hex is still active with Wanda gone, again, I'm going to have to go back to Multiverse of Madness when, or was it Multiverse of Madness? No, sorry. Infinity War, when the Maw was trying to take the Eye of Agamotto off him. And, he's like, I can take it from around your dead neck, and Strange says something to the effect like, good luck breaking a dead man's spell. So, you know, going off of that, that's how her Hex is still active. Because the whatever Hex / charm / spell that Strange put on the Eye of Agamotto will last beyond his death, if he wasn't lying. But, yeah. Going off of that, the Hex is... It would still be active with Wanda gone. Travis says, reminds me of 2018 when both Venom and Upgrade released with two near-identical actors, similar premises, fight scenes, so on. Just cosmic coincidence. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the chance? Yeah. But yeah, that one, theirs was so much better. So much better. So what do you guys think of the chemistry between Catherine Hahn and Aubrey Plaza? And also, what do you think's going on between those two characters? Because I thought those two in scenes together kicked very much ass. I also think it's painfully obvious that they used to be lovers. I mean, anyone who didn't get that is just not paying attention. Those two totally used to be lovers. Brooke says, seems like those characters have a deep-seated rivalry. Yes. Aubrey's character wants to do something to Agatha. Agatha is trying her best to avoid Aubrey's character. Yep. Justy says they rolled under the sheets, that's for sure. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, there's definitely some stuff going on. Travis says, is it possible Aubrey Plaza is the daughter of Agatha or even her mother? I don't know enough about her comic history to say it's impossible. I will say, well, and besides, the way FEIGE tends to adjust comic stories to fit his vision better and also, you know, make them possible to do in live action. Even if that was the case in the comics, I highly doubt that'll be the case in this show. But it is not impossible but I will also say it is extraordinarily unlikely. Rob says, the chemistry was great. The best acting so far. There was a good chemistry across the whole cast. I'm inclined to agree with that. Stanley says, super gay lovers. Yeah. Brooks says, yeah, Rio Vidal used to be part of Agatha's coven. I like the fight scene between Rio Vidal and Agatha towards the end of the first episode. Yeah. Was that towards the end of the first? What, did that happen before the end of the first? I guess it. See, I don't remember that. Like, I can't remember where the first. I can't remember if the first episode cuts off right when she comes out of her spell, or if there was a little bit out of her spell before they went into the second episode. That part I can't remember for sure. Aubrey Plaza killed it in her role. Yep. The other project I've seen Aubrey Plaza in is Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. That was a fun rom-com. Yeah, I've never watched that. I heard she's fucking awesome in Legion, though, and I need to watch that show. I think Aubrey's character licked Agatha's hand to heal it at the... Oh, that was at the end of the first episode? Yes. Yeah. But the at least for me, awesome part about that was right after she said, I have a black heart and it beats for you, and then licked her hand. And that was cool. And I saw it on the TwitX today that evidently there's one of these 9 episodes is going to be a flashback episode. And those two are going to be getting along much better, from what I understand. We're supposed to get some kissing. And I, for one, am very much here to see Catherine Hahn and Aubrey Plaza make out. Travis says, years ago, some Marvel higher-up or actor said that one of the veteran characters was gay, but it hadn't been revealed. You always thought it was Sam Wilson? Is that because of the Black Mirror episode that he was in where he was gay? I mean, honestly, I don't know if Agatha's a veteran character. She's, like, brand new as of Phase 4. Although we are into Phase 6, I guess she could be a veteran character. But, yeah. I mean, it still could be Sam Wilson. Who the fuck knows? I don't know how likely that is, but it could be. So what else happened? So yeah, she finally got out of the spell. What do you guys think about her basically going backwards through her characters that she was in WandaVision? I kind of appreciated that. I thought that part was cool. What do you guys think? You know, Aubrey's like, claw your way out, and she's, you know, doing her thing and working through her characters back to episode 1 of WandaVision, I believe. And then she got herself back and realized she was naked. That was back in 2019. Yeah, I don't know. That nudity scene was a shocker for sure. Yeah. I mean, there had been an image out there, like, I knew she was going to be doing the Lady Godiva thing and having her titties covered with her hairs. Such a crazy moment. Agatha was truly powerless in that scene. Yeah. But I was, so I knew the Lady Godiva shit was coming with the hair and the titties. But, I had no idea she was going to get so cheeky. I did not see that coming. I am mad. Catherine Hahn has some nice cheeks. What did she say? I read a quote of hers. Oh yeah, it was her idea to do the nude scene because she felt that there should be a visual representation of how stripped down her character felt. I do not get that reference, Travis. I'm having a Captain America moment. Rob says, I do recall sending you an article where trolls were saying the whole series was for the LGBTQ community. Freaking trolls. Yes. Yeah, it's not. Stanley says, I thought she'd actually claw her way out, but it was just shifting through a wardrobe. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I'd say some special effects for the Witch's Road, though, you know? A lot of that special effects budget's got to be going to what we're going to see the next 7 episodes. For sure. Travis says, I do think MODOK may hold the record for first cheeks in the MCU. I'm inclined to agree. I believe you are correct. That is such a fucked up version of MODOK. God damn, that movie sucked. Anyway. What'd you guys think of the other witches? How do you think they handled the gathering of the coven? I like the other witches. I mean, Patti LuPone's a legend. Yeah, exactly, Rob. And then there's the young African American witch. No, the camera goes away from that, Travis. I am pretty sure. Rob says, I appreciate this feels like a TV show and not a disjointed movie. Yes, that is a big bonus. Was the older lady from that 70s show? Yeah, that was Kitty Foreman. Deborah Jo Rupp. Like the gathering of these witches better than the witches scene from Acolyte, says Brooke. I agree. I feel like I'm missing one. Because there's 4 plus Deborah Jo Rupp, maybe. So we got Agatha, Patti LuPone, the African American one. Oh yeah, the Asian one. That's right. And then we know the last one was supposed to be Rio, because there was no name, it's just a black heart. And of course, you know, Rio dropped that line earlier about her black heart being all Agatha's. So she goes and decides to recruit a neighbor. Yeah, the cop in the divination one, yep. So she decides to go recruit a neighbor. Now, here's the thing. I'm not 100% sure that she is just an average neighborhood lady. They dropped a few hints to at least make us wonder. First one being that she was the representative of Earth magic, and she's talking about her green thumb. What else was there? Oh, just the fact that the chant worked, even though she barely participated. There's a couple others I can't remember offhand. I should have taken more notes. But I feel like they dropped enough hints to where we can at least wonder about her status as whether a regular person or a witch. What do you guys think? Do you think she's just a regular person that's going to be our, you know, where they're going to play that trope of the regular person dragged along on some wild-ass fucking adventure? Or do you think maybe there's more to her than just being a slightly different version of Kitty Foreman? What do you guys think? I think there's more to her. I mean, if I'm wrong, so be it. I don't care. If she ends up just, you know, if they end up playing that trope with her, fine. But I think there's more to her. Rob says she's either a witch or she's Mephisto. Man, everyone thinks we're going to get Mephisto in this show. I'm not so sure. I feel like it's 60-40 against. That's just my 100%. There we go. Fucking shirt. That's just my opinion. Complete speculation. But I don't even think we're going to get Mephisto in this show. Rob says Aubrey Plaza shouldn't be Mephisto if there's a swerve. I don't think she's going to be. No, I think she's going to end up being Morgan Le Fay or because her operative color seems to be green. And there's something about the translation of her name, because remember how she kept saying Spanish words every once in a while? I believe the translation of Rio Vidal has something to do with like Mother Earth, so there's people are speculating that she could be not the Secret Invasion Gaia, but the actual Elder God Gaia. Brooke says the older lady probably has something special that made Agatha want to recruit her, because Agatha was looking to recruit those witches for special abilities. I mean, yeah, it's the way the spell to get into the road is set up. You have to have all witches and of certain disciplines. So yeah, between that, her talking about her green thumb, or between what you said, the green thumb thing, and the fact that song actually worked, there's gotta be something more to her. Stan says, I saw it was supposed to be Aubrey Plaza, but Agatha didn't want her for reasons and grabbed a random, but she turns out to be important. That's what it's supposed to look like. I feel like Brooke could be right, though, and Agatha could have recognized something. Otherwise, she might have had to, otherwise, I don't think the spell would have worked to get them into the road. I feel like there's got to be something about her. She has some earthly nature powers, which will be cool. Yeah. Well, we'll see. Thor's butt in Thor 4. Well, we're talking about the first sighting of an ass. Oh, yeah, that was before. I heard that was digitized a bit, but yeah, you're right. We did see godly cheeks in Thor 4. Good call, Travis. See, I try to never think about Love and Thunder because I hate that movie the most. That is the absolute 100% worst MCU movie for me. I mean, Quantumania is like right there. But there's slightly more I can appreciate about Quantumania than I can about Love and Thunder. I despise that movie. I loathe that movie. I regret the time I lost watching that movie. But yes, Thor's cheeks did happen in Love and Thunder. That is absolutely correct. Yeah, what else was there? Oh, yeah. They decided to actually attempt to give us some horror elements in episode 2 with the arrival of the Salem 7. Doing their appearing out of nowhere things with the hollow whoosh sound behind it. And then the group of them doing weird body contortions and shit. Rob says, first sighting of an ass in Marvel? It's got to be the Edward Norton. Did we see was his ass seen in The Incredible Hulk? I do not recall. What up, C-Dub? How you doing, man? Oh, welcome in. We're still talking about Agatha. That's the first actual subject we've talked about. But yeah, what'd you guys think of the Salem 7? I thought it was decent. I don't know, like, yes, we saw Agatha's cheeks. But when it comes to like the horror element of this show, I don't really see them leaning into that too terribly hard. You know, he was an ass. Oh, yeah. That is true. Yes. Evidently he's garbage to work with, or was on that movie anyway. But Yeah, I thought they were all right. I mean, I didn't think they were super intimidating or anything. The Salem 7. I'm back on the Salem 7 in case you were wondering. But and I thought they were all right. I thought their outfits were cool. You know. What do you guys think of the Salem 7? Chat. Did we appreciate the Salem 7? Did we think it was lame? What say you, chat? They look like the Nazgul from Lord of the Rings. Kind of a little bit, yeah. Found them pretty terrifying at first, Brooke. I mean, there was something to them. I'm not going to say there wasn't anything to them. And they did do some cool shit. And yeah, I can definitely see that, Stanley's a little bit, there was a little Nazgulishness to them. Until they let them peek, until they actually let us see what they looked like under the hoods. Was it just me, or did were their facial decorations, I guess, somewhat reminiscent of the critters from the first Avengers movie with the extra thumbs, or maybe not that. It reminded me of something. Now I'm thinking about that. That doesn't resemble that very much at all. But yeah, I thought their face accoutrement, for lack of a better term, was pretty cool. Travis says, funny how the two MCU movies with butt cheeks are my least favorite. Well, I mean, they're the two worst made ones. I mean, I don't have a problem with man ass. I mean, if I'm being totally honest, like, Hemsworth has an impressive ass. I mean, there's just no way around it. Rob says it pulled just enough effects and movement from The Ring and similar horror tropes. Yep. Kind of look like Grim Reaper figures with their hoods on, Brooke says. A little bit. C-Dub says, less effective female reboot of the Nazgul. Also a little like Scarlet Witch moved in MOM. Yeah, when she was coming out of that mirror or whatever. C-Dub says, they didn't seem to pose much of a threat. Yeah, most of their intimidation factor came in the approach. Like, they didn't attack very hard. Yeah. I mean, we knew they weren't going to get them, but they definitely didn't build the tension up that much. I will have to. I'll put it that way. I agree with you in that term. Yes, they in terms of not seeming much of a threat. Yeah, they definitely didn't. They didn't make it feel that their presence there that impactful. I mean, we knew they were there to kill what's her butt, but yeah. They could have done more to increase the threat level, the feeling of threat level. I do agree. What do we all think of the teen? I think Mordo could appear in this. It would make sense given his mission at the end of the first movie. No. I definitely don't see Mordo coming into this. From what I understand, this is its own little thing. It's going to have a couple broader tie-ins, I think, by the end. But essentially, this shows its own little witchy thing set off in its own little witchy corner. And they're not going to, from the greater MCU, I don't think they're going to bring anything in outside of Wanda. Why does that look so weird? Is it just me, or is there some like weird pixelation like right here? Like right over the top of my head. The teen. I thought he was going to be her kid. Agatha's? Yeah, no. But actually, yeah, let's thank you. That reminds me, Rob. Before we talk about the teen, you guys remember the sequence before after she came out of her spell, where she's looking through the house, and she goes up and finds that kid's room, and then we find out that the kid's name was Nicholas Scratch, who was Agatha's son, and in her perusing through that room, obviously it was an illusion, but she pulled back the blanket, and there was a copy of the Darkhold. You guys remember that shit? Y'all remember that? You remember? You remember that? Want to know what I think? When you put together that scene with, I don't remember who it was, but someone accusing Agatha of making the teen yet another child sacrifice. And then you add in the fact that obviously her and Aubrey Plaza were together back in the day. And then you add in the fact that Aubrey Plaza wants her dead. What that grouping of facts tells me. Obviously, this is just speculation. This is just a theory of mine. But I think to gain the Darkhold the first time, I think Catherine Hahn, in a massive obsession with obtaining all the power, basically, I think she sacrificed her son to get the Darkhold the first time. Or I should say her and Aubrey Plaza's son, as I believe they were together at the time. And thus the massive fucking fallout. And why Catherine, or Agatha, took the Darkhold and used it to take herself completely off the radar. That's what I think. I don't think we're going to see Nicholas Scratch, except maybe in a flashback, except maybe in that flashback episode that's supposed to happen, allegedly. But that's what I think. I think there's that hatred there, and that scene was there, and that reference about another child sacrifice was there. I think she sacrificed their son to gain the Darkhold. What do you guys think about that little theory? L'chaim. What do you guys think about that theory? Am I crazy? Am I putting disparate things together? Am I onto something at least? C-Dub says, was the wolf someone's shape shifted, or was it a random thing she saw? That was one of the Salem 7 moving in. Same with the crow, I think. I think those were the Salem 7 coming in one at a time and letting her know her time was running out. And probably coming in as animals because it was still daylight. Not that they're vampires or anything, but I just feel like witches that look like that wouldn't be running around for everyone to see, you know what I'm saying? But again, I don't know that for sure. Rob says, sound theory. Thank you. It makes the teen Agatha's empathic tie for a redemption arc. Yeah? Yep. Anybody else? Or for a truly evil arc, prepping her next sacrifice. Yeah, could go either way at this point. And honestly, I kind of hope it's the evil arc. I'm quite sick of fucking redemption stories. I want evil motherfuckers to stay evil for a minute. And also not be killed right away. Like I swear, like Lucasfilm is obsessed with redemption arcs and Marvel is obsessed with one and done villains. They both need to knock that shit off. Brooke says Agatha on a redemption arc would be cool, but feel like she is more vengeful. Yeah. I think you're onto something there, Brooke. I think you're onto something. All right. The teen. I find the teen interesting. I kind of liked his character more in the first episode than I did in the second episode because he was really pushing the line, and at least for me, he was pushing the line of annoying-ass fanboy in the second episode. At least that was right up until he started getting assertive when gathering the coven, where he's like, who did he do that to? I think it was the African-American witch, where he just flopped the address down. He's like, be here tonight. And then just turned around and walked off. Tio! Buenas noches, senor. Come on, support, bro. Give that like. Hell yeah. Listen to Tio. Uncle Jones knows what he's talking about. Where are my likes? Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Refresh. Oh, yeah, no, we doing pretty good. Travis says, I like that theory. Reminds me of how Jason Voorhees' mother used the Necronomicon to resurrect Jason. Is that what she used? I'm only really familiar with the Necronomicon in the Evil Dead series. But how you doing tonight, Tio? Brooke says, Agatha just seems a bit more pure evil. Yeah. Also, with the teen, it's interesting that Agatha can't properly learn the name of the teen. Well, she can't properly learn anything about him. Like, not only did they do that weird lip cover shit when he tried to tell her his name, but, like, remember when they were in the car and she's like, tell me about yourself, and he started talking, then everything went, like, super hollow to where she couldn't understand a fucking word he said when he was trying to tell her about who he is. And then when he stopped, came back up, or her hearing came back to normal. I'm not quite sure who is responsible for that. That is one of my curiosities. Is who the hell is responsible for the hex that is keeping Agatha from knowing who that kid is? Now, we haven't had any scenes where anyone else is trying to figure out who the teen is. So at this point, we do not know if that hex is specific to Agatha or if that hex is just a general hex so nobody knows who the fuck he is. I have not been able to decide on which side of that line I fall on. I need more evidence. Well, of course, more evidence would flat out tell me. But fork to my nose. I feel like it would be for everybody. Actually, I take that back. If he is who I'm 99% sure he is, then Agatha would be the only one that Hex would need to work on. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think that's an Agatha-specific Hex, now that I consider it a bit more deeply. What do you think of him as a character, though? Let's forget his proper name. Let's forget what his government name is for a moment. What do you guys think about him as a character? Again, I liked him better in the first episode than the second episode because he was really pushing that fucking fanboy line. But he managed to stay just on the correct side of it for me. And plus, there's enough mysteries about him to where I'm very intrigued as to where this is going to go. Stanley says, if the teen is Wanda's son, what abilities would he have? Something similar to Wanda? Could he repeat Wanda's hex but tweak it a bit to get Agatha to lead him to the road? If we believe him, if we believe what he says about his own training, no. But that's only if we believe him. If he is Wanda's son, then obviously he's not the fast one. So that would make him Billy, the Wiccan. And if he is Wiccan, then he definitely would have the ability to fuck with it. The question is are we to believe his training? Because untrained power you really can't do shit with except break stuff and bash it. You know, you can only really damage with untrained power. But yeah, power wise, as Wanda's kid, he definitely has the power to do it. The question is, does he have the training / knowledge to do it? That's the key. Brooke says, hoping to see the teen use more powers and contribute to the Coven's journey. Oh fuck yeah! I want to see that kid go off. I want to see all kinds of badass spell stuff. Like, I like witches. In general, I like witches when they're done well. So far, Agatha's doing them well. It's only the first 2 out of 9 episodes, so, you know, we'll see how the rest of it goes, obviously. But, you know, to this point, Agatha witches done well. Acolyte witches not. So, Travis says, in a deleted WandaVision scene, Agatha's rabbit, Senor Scratchy, transformed into a demon, and the characters, including Ralph Boner, had to fight it. Interesting. Well, if there's either A, they decided to go completely away from that idea, or B, decided to save it for later. Yeah, it's the way I see that playing out. If he does transform into a demon. Well, did they bring him onto the road? I don't think they brought him onto the road. I think he's still in the house. And I hope the Salem 7 left him alone. I don't think... Did they bring him on... Does anyone remember? Did they bring him onto the road? I don't think they brought him onto the road. I mean, I could very much be wrong, but I don't remember them bringing him. I don't know. If someone's feeling frisky and decides to check on it, that'd be cool. But I don't know. So yeah. I liked the first 2 episodes of Agatha. I'd give it an overall 8. It was enjoyable to watch. It was fun in some scenes, kind of hot in others. And all around, I think the story's good so far. Pacing's good so far. I think they did a good job introducing each individual witch. They gave us enough information for us to get to know them a little bit and be able to enjoy them a little more instead of having to go, God damn, that's a shallow-ass character. They're just kind of there. So I liked that. So yeah, to this point, pretty good show. What do you guys think? What is your overall impression of the first 2 episodes of Agatha All Along? Do I think we get Ralph Boner again? I'm gonna put it this way: we fucking better not. But no, I don't think we're gonna get Ralph Bonered in this one. And also, we fucking better not. Brooke says, I think Agatha could get really interesting in exploring the more magic stuff of the MCU. Yeah, it's definitely got the potential. There's a lot of potential to this show. Just we'll see if it. Stanley says, very mid with occasional chuckle. That's fair. That's fair. Griff gives it a 7 to a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah. Rob says, overall, I'm very pleased. Trending to be a good, solid 7-ish, 8-ish series. Cool. Cool. Would anybody else like to chime in before we move along? Anybody? Anybody at all? Oh, what the fuck? The sudden eye itch is a bitch. I don't like it. All right. We shall move on to the Penguin. After I go potty. I'll be back shortly. Please don't leave. Talk amongst yourselves, but please don't leave. I won't be gone that long. Deadpool, you should have given me just a little bit longer, brother. Oh, well. If you're still lurking, come back. All right. So, let's talk the Penguin. What did you guys think, for those of you who watch it? First of all, how many of you watched it? How many people watched it in the Penguin? I am one, obviously. And if you did watch it, what did you think? What did you think? I gotta tell you, I fucking loved it, bro. I did not know until I watched that episode, that premiere, that I had been hankering for a good gangster show for a long time. But I was. And I have one now. And I am happy about it. Brooks says, like it so far. We'll give a more accurate review when I finish the second half tonight. Oh, you only watched half of the premiere so far? Yeah, isn't Batman Part 2 coming out in 2026? Yes, I believe so. Yeah, I guess they're supposed to start filming next year. The script is done, according to Matt Reeves. Travis says, haven't seen Penguin, but I just kept imagining it as the book of Boba Fett of Batman. The book of Koba Pot. Well played. If I would have to say that the Penguin massively has succeeded where the book of Boba Fett massively failed. So, kinda, but not in the same way. Like, Penguin's fucking good. Griff says, I enjoyed it. Sophia is all kinds of unhinged. Oh my god, yes. She looks like it takes everything in her power to stay north of calm. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember the actress's name, but she is playing her very well. She is playing her very, very well. But, she's kicking ass. I even like the kid. He was annoying at first. He was a bit annoying at first, but, it's going to be interesting to see where this little journey takes him. For sure. But Kristen Milotti, that sounds about right. That sounds right. Sophia got those crazy eyes. Yeah, she does, Stanley. Yeah, I'm not sure if you did either, but that sounds right, Griff. So we're going to go with it. Kristen or Christina Milotti, something like that. It's close enough. Close enough. But, she's the mother from How I Met Your Mother? Oh, okay. Cool. That's where we got Maria Hill from, too. Kobe Smulders. She definitely Smulders. Ooh, that's a good-looking woman, too. Yes, sir. But, I mean, Colin Farrell. I mean, forget like just the massive makeup and prosthetics he's wearing. Just the way he's playing that character. If I didn't know that was Colin Farrell, I wouldn't know that's Colin Farrell. Like, holy shit. Colin Farrell. He's fucking killing it as the Penguin. The lady that plays his mother, I thought she did a damn good job too. I thought, yeah, most of the acting in this show is pretty, solid to, damn, you're good. Kid playing Victor the driver is Alex from Marvel's The Runaways. Oh, I never watched that. That's cool. Another actor hopping between IP. Nothing wrong with that at all. Get that bag, kid. Excuse me. Yeah, that show is so dope. Like from the opening sequence where, well, that opening sequence was sick. That was basically that was the previously on, but in a montage, and no one's talking except the news people. I mean, I thought that was one of the coolest ways I've seen a previously on segment done, honestly. I mean, in this case, it's previously on The Batman. But, yeah. I thought that was pretty sweet. Him just standing there and them doing all that shit. I thought that whole scene with Marcone's kid was awesome. He laughed at me. Right, yeah, exactly. I mean, no one ever said the Penguin was a well-balanced individual. I don't think that claim's ever been made. Well, other than by him and his mother, maybe. But yeah, that scene with him and the younger Falcone was pretty cool. And you could just see him manipulating him. And then the kid went overboard and got himself blasted. Speaking of which, Penguin's reaction to doing that was fucking cool. Just sits there, start laughing. Like, fuck you, you little son of a bitch. And then it's, oh, god damn it, what did I just do? Fuck! Brooke says, I think Batman Part 2 will have Mr. Freeze as the main villain. Looks like it's going to be taking place during the wintertime. Yup. It does. And I guess Penguin's supposed to basically lead right into it the same way Andor's going to be, has to lead right into Rogue One. Gur says, that kid was mad disrespectful. I knew Oz was going to kill him. Oh, yeah, I felt it coming. Yeah, I'm with you there. I felt it coming. Pause. Giggity. But, yeah. But, just Colin Farrell's fucking amazing in that show. That's all I got to say about that. Oh, yeah, fucking, what's his goddamn name? Clancy Brown. Being in it was cool. I love me some Clancy Brown. I mean, who doesn't love Clancy Brown? Like, seriously. Like, the way the Penguin was attempting to manipulate him. I thought that was kind of fun. That is one thing that is one talent Penguin definitely does have. And when What's Her Fuzz brought it up when they were eating lunch, she's like, you can talk yourself about any. You always got something to say. Soupy Games, welcome in. What Funko is that in the background? I can't remember the name. Oh, this was gifted to me It is a Target exclusive Emperor Palpatine. There we go. Why do I suck at this so much? If I can keep them from falling the fuck out. I was gifted these mini pops, micro pops. I'm gonna keep them on an angle, otherwise they'll fall the fuck out. Oh, come on, glare. Here we go. Got a Vader. Got a Stormtrooper. Got a Tusken Raider. And another kind of Stormtrooper. What is that one? Oh, my bad. That's a TIE Fighter pilot. So yeah, I got a Vader, I got a Stormtrooper, I got a TIE Fighter pilot, and I got a Tusken Raider. Yeah, those didn't focus in worth shit. There we go. La da 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 da. Travis says, it's way too early to tell, but how do you imagine Bruce appearing in this series, if at all? I don't know that he's gonna, but if he does, it won't be till, like, probably last, I don't know, last 5 minutes of the show. If we see him at all, it'll probably be that. C-Dub says, I liked the Penguin. I love mafia shows. Right? I don't know if it's still on there on Netflix, but there's a show called Bad Blood. That was dope. It's based on a real thing, like Canadian mafia. T-Rev would love it. Or Trev would love the shit out of that. You like it? Got to add that to your list? Nice. C-Dub says, it does feel a bit more like Matt Reeves' Joker movie, though. Like, Joker was so popular, Reeves was like, hey, Warner Brothers, I can do that, too. Bitty Pops. Okay, thank you. Kinda? I don't know. I don't know if I personally get that from it, but that don't mean shit. It's my objective observations that are not to be messed with. But I mean, if you get that from it, cool. I personally don't. That don't matter what I get. Griff says, when Oz took the ring of the kid, I thought that would be his downfall. I never in a million years thought he would give it back to Maroney. Right? I did not see that coming. When he did that, I was like, this motherfucker is slick. Like, he knows how to play a situation like crazy. How many episodes is the Penguin going to have? I can't remember. It's either 6 or 8. Let me look it up. Episodes of the Penguin. Oops. How many episodes? How many episodes will you have? 8. There will be 8. Yeah. Ooh, nice. Yep, it's 8. 8 episodes. But they're not dropping anything together. So we got 7 more weeks of this show. I'm happy about it. Yeah, how many times did What's Her Fuzz basically have him busted? Like, how could you talk about that as if you're on? Oh, so he didn't tell you. He didn't. So he didn't tell you about me either, then, eh? I mean, that was. I mean, just. I mean, obviously scripted TV show, but just in terms of how that conversation went, I was like, "Damn, this dude's good." Because I'd have been sitting there like, "Okay, just shoot me. You got me. Just fucking kill me now." Super Game says, I know nothing about the show for the first time in a while. I know nothing about an upcoming show or movie. Thought the first episode comes out tomorrow. Nope, it came out on a Thursday. I'm pretty sure that's the day. I think it's 7 more Thursdays, I believe, is how that's going to work. But you should definitely watch it. And also, you should probably not pay too close attention while I'm talking about it if you don't want to get spoiled. I probably should have put that in the title. Gotta remember to do that next time I'm talking about a show. Put spoilers in the title. That way someone like Soupy Games comes into the stream and hasn't seen something, and then I'm just going to talk about all the fucking details that I feel like talking about. Oh, you thought it was Sundays? Yeah. Nope. Thursdays. Agatha on Wednesday. Penguin on Thursday. At this point in time, it's a pretty good 2-day stretch. We will see as the weeks go along. I'm really hoping we get more history, like in it. Did any of you guys watch the, coming up this season section after the show was over? Because it looks like we're going to get a little bit of history. We're going to get some, I don't think it'll be a whole episode, but I think we're going to, throughout the show, I think we're going to get flashback scenes. Not entire episodes like other shows have done. But, yeah, I think we're going to get some flashback scenes. At least it looked like from that preview thing. So I think we're going to get a little history of, or some details on, well, first of all, how she got why she got put into Arkham anyway. And obviously it seems the Penguin was involved in that. So I think we'll get some details on that. It'll be cool. Sophia, yeah. 3 times Sophia meeting Penguin at the meeting, asking had he seen her brother. Right. Then lunch at fancy restaurant. And then when she got the street kid. Penguin is slippery. Yeah. As long as it's not the biggest spoilers for this show. At least I don't mind the small spoilers. Okay, cool. C-Dub says, Transformers 1 was so good. A pleasant surprise and a much-needed complete departure from the whack-ass live-action movies. See, I keep hearing it's good. Am I the only one that didn't like the trailers? I did not find any of those trailers impressive for that movie. I did not find any of those trailers impressive. None of them gave me any interest in that movie whatsoever. Honestly, it gave me the impression that it was just going to be cheesy. But I am hearing you're yet another person, C-Dub, that I've heard that that it's good, surprisingly good, kind of like Agatha was surprisingly good. It respects the lore and even builds on it in all of the right ways. Well, some of them a bitch. I don't know that I'm going to go to it in the theater, but it definitely increased my desire to watch it when it hits streaming. I keep hearing things. It was pretty dark, too. See, they should have put at least a little bit of that in the trailers. You know, balance it out some. But they just kept it all, like, making it look like kid comedy. Okay, so it wasn't just me with the trailers. Not a good representation of the movie. I'm thinking so. Marketing fail. Yeah. That's what it seems like to me. Those trailers did not make that movie appeal to me in the slightest. Not in the slightest. But now I'm going to have to check it out when it hits streaming. I got other movie. Theater money don't come easy these days, and I got other things I want to see more. Like Venom. Now, if Transformers had come out the same month Kraven came out, then I would go see that rather than Kraven, probably. But it is what it is. Excuse me. So, all right. Well, without going too much into the story, finally saw Alien Romulus last night, and you're pretty sure there was only a few in that theater watching Transformers 1. What'd you think of Romulus, though? I fucking love that movie. Made it seem like it was going to be a Lego Batman kind of movie. Yeah! I mean, I'm glad it turns out to be really good. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm in agreement with you. It'll be nice to see a good Transformers movie, regardless of the medium, live action, animated, or whatnot. It'll be good to see a good Transformers. Although Bumblebee was pretty good. Honestly, I enjoyed Bumblebee. I know that's technically a different timeline than the one they're running with now. Blah 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 blah. But I enjoyed Bumblebee. But that was the first one I had enjoyed in probably 2 or 3 movies. Like, I like the first 3. After that, it really falls off. Soupy Game says, bro, I saw another Kraven trailer during the trailers, and I don't remember it being that gory. Yeah, the last time, the very last trailer drop, they added in some blood. The first trailer didn't have that. The most recent trailer, they added the CG blood. A lot. You liked it? It was pretty good? I mean, as trailers go, yeah. Am I confident in the quality of that movie? No. No. Sony's Marvel, without Kevin Feige's help, has pretty much been, for me, ass. Or as Josh would say, a yes. It was a yes. You're generally positively biased towards all the Transformers movies? I don't even think I've seen all of them at this point. I'm pretty sure I've seen all the Michael Bay ones. But on the new timeline, the only one I've seen is Bumblebee. Like, I haven't seen Rise of the Beasts or whatever the other one is. Or is that the only other one in that timeline? I feel like there's 3. Someone check me on that, though. Someone check me on that shit. Ooh, itchy. All right, so without going into too much spoilery detail, what'd you guys think about, let's say, the interrogation and what happened afterwards? For those of you that saw it, you should know what I'm talking about. Because personally, I thought that sequence was fucking sick. Super Games says the next movies that I want to see in theaters are Smile 2 and Venom: The Last Dance. But I'll probably only be able to see Venom because I'm saving for a tattoo. Oh, yeah. I like tattoos. I've got a few. But yes, a noble cause to save for sure. See, I haven't seen the first Smile yet. Like, I only watch horror movies when, like, I get in the mood for them. I don't dislike them. Not by any stretch. I like them. I'm just not like all about them. I got to be in the right mood. Travis says, I personally think Dark of the Moon is the best of the Transformers movies, with the original 2007 one being second. Revenge of the Fallen is bad, but has a lot of what made the first work. 4 and 5 suck. Dark of the Moon is the one with the older Prime voiced by Leonard Nimoy, right? That's that one, right? Yeah. Transformers 1 is the X-Men 97 of that franchise. Whoa! That's fucking high praise, C-Dub. That's saying a lot. Favorite Transformers was the original one? Are you talking the original Michael Bay one or the original 86 movie? That is still goated. It was animated. But the 86 is goated. X-Men 97. Wow. Soapy says, yeah, I'm not big on horror movies unless it makes me very interested or I've seen the previous movies. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Brooke says, I did want to see Smile, but got caught up with other obligations. I mean, life will life the fuck out of you. Whether you want it to or not. That's for damn sure. That is for damn sure. C-Dub says, the animated 80s movie is my all-time fave. This one is close to that. Wow. Original live action. Okay. Wow. Stanley says, garroting an arm is a new one for me. Well, I mean, they weren't trying to kill him at that point in time. They were just trying to get info out of him. And I don't know about you, but my armpit is sensitive as fuck. So, but yeah, that was it. That was definitely a technique I had not seen before, but I can definitely see how it would be. I can definitely see how it would be effective. So, yes, I am quite pleased with the Penguin. I think Josh is completely out of his tree on this one. I mean, if you like Godfather, if you like Sopranos, if you like Goodfellas, I don't see how you can't like this. Especially, like, if you like The Godfather. It's not like that movie moved along, or any of those movies moved along. I mean, this is... The Penguin is no worse paced than any of those, and it's still actually a little bit faster, for the most part. So, like, do not understand Josh's POV on that one. Next year's summer is going to be packed with crazy movies, says Soupy Games. You are absolutely correct. Well, 2025 in general is going to be nuts because that's when that's when a lot of the ones that were supposed to come out like the last year or this year that got delayed by the strike last year are coming out. So yeah, 2025's movie slate just in general is nuts. It is crazy. There says, yeah, not sure what Josh didn't like, but I will be watching. He just thought it was boring. He just found it to be that boring. I don't understand it. Josh not liking the Penguin is just as puzzling to me as sequel fans. But yeah. Yeah, I think it's peak. It's a great show. Well, that was a great episode. And I think it will be a great show. I am definitely looking forward to watching the rest of that. And as far as Agatha goes, I am definitely looking forward to see what happens in episode 3. Like, there's not a... for me, I just feel like the Penguin... what I anticipate coming from that going forward, I feel like is much more reliable in terms of whether I will enjoy it or not than Agatha. For me, there's a bigger risk of going, God damn it, with Agatha than there is with the Penguin, for me. Seattle says, I think it hangs with 97 and the Spider-Verse movies. It's not better, but for sure holds its own. Damn. Maybe I will have to find a way to scrape together some theater money after all. Shit. That good. Alrighty then. Alrighty. Is there anything else anyone would like to share about their thoughts on the Penguin before we move on to the main story? Before we move on to what the thumbnail and the title is all about. Any thoughts on the Penguin? And while you're typing in, Sergeant Giratina's Rising Renegades. Oh boy. Oh boy what, Sergeant? And welcome in. I appreciate you stopping by. What are we oh boying, sir? And how do I feel about creature commandos? Curious. I think that's the best word. I'm curious. I'm not stoked. I'm not dreading. I'm curious. Like, Gun's hit or miss for me. I love the Guardians movies. I absolutely despise the Suicide Squad. I find that movie to be the DC equivalent of Love and Thunder for me. So it's just I'm not sure what kind of tone I'm going to get from him and whether or not the tone he chooses for me goes with the material. So there's an inherent risk in anything Gunn does, but I will not deny that motherfucker can make some good movies. Which reminds me, I still need to watch Brightburn. Yeah, I think he's talented. I think he's a good movie maker. I think he lets his humor get the best of him too often. So I'm always I always have just a little bit of trepidation when it comes to his stuff, but yeah, I'm definitely curious to see what that's all about for sure. Oh, Sergeant says Kevin Feige having control of Spider-Man. What worries me are the potential ramifications. We'll come back to that. Brooke says, I say we move on to the next topic. One recap of what's going on with the Spider-Man news. Oh, we will. We will. Soupy Games says, I'm just interested because I never heard of them. I mean, I haven't heard of a lot of the characters as if it was Marvel, but yeah, I'm just interested. Yeah, well, that's something else Gunn does. And, or Gunn does much better than Marvel, at least to this point. And that is take obscure characters. Well, at least it's what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy. And that is successfully take obscure characters and make them popular. Now, I don't know. That was a false positive. as was evidenced by Phases 4 and 5 and Marvel's attempts at also bringing in lesser-known characters and making them cool. Where was I? Right, so... But he does have that talent, which is another reason I'm curious about Creature Commandos. Because they are definitely lesser-known DC characters. Like I hadn't heard of them until Gunn talked about them. It's like in the first official DC project will be an animated feature called Creature Commandos. Okay. C-Dub says, Spider-Man 4 is multiversal with Null and Venom involved. Spider-Man will make an appearance in Venom 3. I think that's what sums up the speculations. That was a good Venom impression. I wasn't really trying to do one, but thank you. Why are you shitting in my cereal, C-Dub? Why are you shitting in my cereal? I thought we were cool, you and me. What happened? Brooke says, did want grounded Spider-Man initially, but honestly, given how good No Way Home was, I'm real hyped for Spider-Man 4 being multiversal. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on the grounded thing, too. I just want Sony to be bought out, obviously, just like all of us, says Soupy Games. I mean, yeah. All right. Oh, you're giving Brooke the TLDR. Well played, Griff. All right, so. Yeah, Sony should just learn to play ball with Disney MCU. Well, it appears they have. All right, so. As we all are already aware, still want to hear my takes? I appreciate that, bro. All right. As we are already aware. All right, damn it. Last time I'm getting distracted with chat for at least 30 seconds. Travis says, one thing to note, which could be nothing, are Eddie Brock's notes he's taking in No Way Home, which likely included Peter being Spider-Man, which are next to the symbiote left behind. Yes. We'll get to all that shit. I'm not sure about the notebook thing, but that's definitely possible. But yeah, we'll get to all that. Okay, so backstory. As we're already aware, Sony was nice enough to let us use Spider-Man in Phase 3. And we also know, thanks to The Reign of Marvel Studios by Joanna Robinson, that Feige had many plans for Tom Holland's Spider-Man in Phases 4 and 5. And we also know that, I can't remember why, but Amy Pascal decided to take her Spider-Man ball and run home, which is one of the many contributing factors to why Phases 4 and 5 overall, not completely, there were definitely bright spots, but why they overall sucked ass. Okay? So, then we've got a new deal, which gave us access to Tom Holland's Spider-Man for these next two Avengers movies, and I think something else. I can't remember what, but it wasn't a whole shit ton. Spider-Man 4 and the two Avengers movies, I think. Not 100 on that, so don't quote me. But so that was the original deal that they've been operating under for a while. Then the subject of Spider-Man 4 came up. Now, as we are aware, the end of No Way Home had Peter basically at the point where we're used to him being, which is single. No one knows that he is Spider-Man. Unfortunately, that spell went another step farther, and no one knows who the fuck he is at all. But yeah, homemade suit, shitty apartment, single. The Peter Parker that we're all used to. Stanley says, "Great stream, thanks. Good night, all." Oh, night, Stanley's. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for the compliment. Make sure you hit like on the way out if you didn't on the way in. See, I made it longer than 30 seconds that time. And besides, he's leaving. I had to say bye. All right, so. Like I was saying, at the end of No Way Home, we got Peter Parker back to the basic street-level, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man Peter Parker that we, in the MCU, have yet to see. And turns out that that's what Kevin Feige wanted to do. He wanted a nice, street-level, grounded Spider-Man 4 that, to all appearances, looks like we're going to tie in the Kingpin Daredevil shit from the obvious adaptation they're doing of Devil's Reign in Daredevil. And so that's Feige wanted to tie all that together and give us a cool, kick-ass Spider-Man handling business in New York City kind of movie. And the majority of fans out there were totally fucking down for that. However, and there's always a however, or a but, or whatever you want to say. However, Sony, after the massive success of No Way Home, wanted another multiversal movie. So the battle ensued. There was back and forth. There's negotiation. And for a bit, it looked like what we were going to get was something much closer to being a grounded movie. For a while. It looked like that. But then info started coming out that it was going to be more of a multiversal movie than a grounded movie. And then the last Venom trailer came out. And they confirmed Null. Not just by the name drop, visually. Now, if you know who Null is, then you already know why that's awesome. If you do not know who Null is, let me TLDR it for you. Null, the symbiote god, is a primordial creature of darkness. He's been around since between the 5th and 6th iterations of the cosmos. I believe the MCU is the 8th currently, or the current Marvel Comics universe is the 8th. So, multiverse has collapsed and been reborn 7 times now. Either between 4 and 5 or 5 and 6, Null came into being in the darkness. Not sure how. But let's, comics. We'll just say comics. So, Null is a creature of primordial darkness, and that's how he liked things. He liked them dark. He liked them quiet. But then along came the Celestials. And they started creating things like light. And they started making noise. And Null got pissed. So what did Null do? Null, from himself, out of himself, created all black the Necro Sword, which most of us are familiar with as being the chosen weapon of Gore the God Butcher. Now Brooks shitting in my cereal. Why is chat shitting in my cereal tonight? Yes, that is a very succinct description. But I'm going with the much wordier one. So, because he's pissed at the Celestials, Null creates out of himself All Black the Necrosword and goes and takes on the Celestials and cuts one of their heads off. Said ancient severed celestial head becoming Nowhere, home of the Collector. Well, after Infinity War and Endgame, former home of the Collector. And now currently, I believe, headquarters for the Guardians, or it was as of the Guardians holiday special. Which, of course, the Celestials were like, no thank you, and they dipped. But they kept on creating. So, no decided, fuck you guys, I'm going to start destroying everything you create. And fuck all your light. I'm killing all these stars, I'm killing all these planets, I'm bringing everything back to the darkness and the quiet where I fucking like it. So, he started off destroying shit, and then he realized, I need some fucking help. So then he began to create symbiotes. Now, he created them with a hive mind based on him, which means he had complete control of them. They were his slaves, bound to him through the hive mind. Now, after a while, he had created enough of them to where some of them got their own personality, and they decided to rebel because they got tired of being treated like shit. So what they did is a whole bunch of them. When I say a whole bunch of them, I mean millions, possibly trillions of them, got together and trapped Null in the core of a planet composed entirely of symbiotes, mind you, called Clintar, which in the symbiote language means cage, which, by the way, is probably where we saw him in that Venom trailer. I don't know how much detail you noticed, but a lot of that shit looked like, petrified symbiotes and crap like that, right? But obviously it also looks like he got out, which he did, which led to the King in Black story, which I'm not going to go into because that would take a while. But yeah, after a time, Null got his juju back, broke out of Clintar, took control of a shit ton of the symbiotes again, and then, came to Earth, blah, 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 King in Black happened. So, but that's why Null is a multiversal threat, because he's a primordial entity. Universes don't mean shit to him. If he can go in whichever one he fucking wants. So that's Null. Why is that important to Spider-Man 4? Well, based on the reshoots for Venom 3, the ones that happened in New York, it looks like, how, we're not sure yet, that's speculation, and I've got my own theory on that, but it would appear that Eddie at the end of Venom 3 is going to end up in the 616 in New York. Now, whether he comes through with the Venom symbiote from that universe, or whether he finds that little smidge that was left over when he got yanked back to his own universe at the end of No Way Home, we shall see. But basically, what it's looking like Spider-Man 4 is going to end up being, and here's where we're going to kind of get a mix of ground level and multiverse, is we're going to end up with Venom in the 616 at the end of Venom 3. I hate the title. By the way, The Last Dance is so fucking stupid to me. Should have just called it Venom 3. Anyway, at the end of Venom 3, Eddie's going to end up in the 616. So we could very well get a face to face at the end of Venom 3. But the main point is Eddie's going to be in the 616, which means probably in Spider-Man 4, first thing we're going to get is Spidey versus Venom. That'll be the grounded part. And then at some point, they're going to end up having a conversation, and Venom's going to politely inform Tom Holland that Null's on the way. So by the end of the movie, it'll go from them going, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, to, let's team up and take care of this big motherfucker. So that's how that's going to go. Now, how does that relate to Feige taking over? Well, here's how. That one deal has been renegotiated. Now we're going to get more. They've given us more movies with Tom Holland. It went from just having 3 left with him to having him for Spider-Man's 4, 5, and 6. Spider-Man 4 already, Doomsday already, plus 2 more movies on top of that, aside from the next 3 Spider-Man sequels. And Feige is going to have creative control of all of those, according to this new deal. He'll be able to do what the fuck he wants with the openings given to him by Sony. Obviously, they will have final approval because they own that license, the live-action Spider-Man license. Yes, he does. He does still have one more appearance on the original contract, which they're tacking this new one onto the end of. That's how we're getting more movies. So we're getting a butt ton of Tom Holland, and Sony is smart enough to give Feige creative control over. Now here's the key: Tom Holland Spider-Man. Specifically, Toby and Andrew are still out there. If Sony can get them to sign contracts, Sony can bring them back, and they can tell Kevin, make it work. Because Sony still owns the rights, and they always will. They're never selling. That company would have to completely go under, and then whoever bought them would then own the rights. But Sony is never giving up those rights. Never, never, never. Not voluntarily. Never. It's not happening. Disabuse yourself of that notion. If you had it, forget it. It just is not happening. So, Sony's, at least with Tom Holland Spider-Man, Sony is now playing ball. I think they've finally figured out, at least to a certain extent, that they do much better when Kevin's handling the business. Because they've made their money on Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home. And I assume they got a chunk from the Civil War and the Infinity War and Endgame movies. I'm assuming they got some monies off of that for letting Marvel use him. So, I think they finally wised up and figured out that Kevin Feige equals cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. And so they're letting him have creative control over Spider-Man, unless they get a bug up their ass and grab their Spidey ball and go home again. But Spider-Man's 4, 5, and 6, the one left on the original contract or agreement, and then the 2 Avengers movies, and I believe, again, 2 more movies besides that. And Kevin's going to have creative control of all those. Because Sony wants to make money, basically. But now, again, part of that is Spider-Man 4 being basically multiversal. That's going to happen. Sony's wanted that to happen. That's going to happen. We're probably getting first Venom v Spider-Man and then Venom plus Spider-Man v Null in that movie. Now, when that movie's going to happen on the actual MCU timeline, I have no fucking idea because the movie itself is coming out between Doomsday and Secret Wars. So, I don't know how they're going to... I mean, they could... Well... See, it depends on how they end Doomsday is how much sense that movie will make being where it's at in the release schedule. As compared to the actual MCU timeline. That part's going to get a little funky. It's going to be interesting. Excuse me. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle that part. But yeah, it's the cost of Kevin getting creative control over, well, basically the rest of them after Spider-Man 4, and still to a certain extent Spider-Man 4. Outside of the fact that it pretty much is going to be multiversal now, Kevin's going to have control over what goes on in it and how things get set up and tie into the MCU going forward, right? So, that's cool. But again, that's specifically Tom Holland Spider-Man. Not any other version of Spider-Man. Not any of the villains. Rogues Gallery is still all under Sony's control. It's just Tom Holland Spider-Man. Kevin will have to ask permission for anything else, and Sony can inform him to an extent of who he will use as well. So it's not 100% control because Sony, again, they have the rights. They can still grab their Spidey ball and go home any old time they want. But if they like money, they won't, because that would just be fucking stupid. But now, what was that? Let me scroll up. Get my mouse working. Come here, mouse. Who was it? Oh yeah, Sergeant Giratina's Rising Renegades was worried about the potential ramifications of Feige's control over Spider-Man. If you are still in here, Sergeant, I would appreciate knowing what you think is bad about said ramifications. I would really love to know that. All right, Travis, now I'll get caught up on chat. And while I'm getting caught up on chat, why don't you guys go ahead and add more chats on how you feel about Kevin getting this level of control, how Spider-Man 4 is basically guaranteed to be multiversal now. How do you feel about Venom coming in and then him and Spidey teaming up against Null? How do you feel about Null coming into the proper MCU proper? How do you feel about all that shit? You guys go ahead and throw that into the chat fresh while I get caught up on some of these older ones. So, Travis says, I speculate we're finding out Eddie has cancer in this movie, leaning into the recent books and hints in the trailer, like him saying, I need him in the hospital bed. Yeah, that's not the first time I've heard that, and that makes total sense. I definitely could see them doing that for sure. Yes. C-Dub says, from what I understand, Beyond the Spider-Verse is on the same timeline as Blade. Really? I hadn't heard that before, but that's interesting. It's interesting. Brooks talking about being bummed out by the delays of Beyond. Yeah, we're not getting that for till 27, folks. Not getting that one till 27. Travis says, the symbiote knows Peter Parker kills him in some timelines. Yes. And Eddie knows Peter is the one who ruins his life across timelines. Yes, being pulled into the MCU where this Peter can do just that. Yeah, he's going to be pissed off when he first gets there. That is for damn sure. Yeah, Eddie/Venom is not looking for Tom Holland Spider-Man to be like, yo, bro, what's going on? How you doing? No, they're looking to kill him. To prevent their own death. Yeah, so they're not going to get along. At least not until Null gets close, and then they're going to have to get along. But yeah, there's going to be there's going to be violence at the beginning. Well, I mean, there'll be violence all the way through, but specifically for those two, there's going to be violence. Venom's gonna tear some shit up, trying to kill Peter for sure. Griff says, "What does Sony get on the back end as opposed to original deal with merchandise?" I am not sure how that part of the deal is set up. I think the percentage of what Marvel contributes to the budget and gets back out of the profits has gone up. Beyond that, I really don't know shit. Got to be honest. Really don't know. Travis also says, going off canon events, not going off on them, I could see Eddie's arc being realizing that he didn't need a Peter in his world to screw up his life. Peter ruining him not being the canon event, but him ruining his own. I mean, he did do a fairly effective job of that in the first Venom movie. He definitely did that. So, I mean, that's possible. That would play in the current, what they're setting up. That would definitely play. Brooks says, "I'm excited that Feige gets greater control over Holland's Spider-Man. It bodes well for the future." For Tom Holland's Spider-Man, I agree. Brooke also says, "Venom vs. Tom Holland's Spider-Man fight is probably going to be dope." Oh, yeah. I'm inclined to agree with that as well. What does anybody else think? I would love to know your thoughts, chat. That would be so great if you guys would share with me your thoughts. And it doesn't just have to be on that. That's just the subject at hand. I've talked about all I wish to talk about this evening, so obviously I definitely want your thoughts on the Feige, Sony, Holland, Spidey thing and how you feel about Spider-Man 4, or what's likely is going to happen in Spider-Man 4. And of course, any other questions, concerns, or what have you, I am definitely willing to talk about it. Brooke says, "It would be cool to see how Tom Holland's Spider-Man is going to attempt to calm down Venom, and then Venom just goes berserker mode." Oh, yeah, how they set that up and what they're going to do with that, yeah. And there is also a chance that we could get Tom Holland in a post-credit for Venom: The Last Dance. I just remembered. Do you guys remember hearing about how Tom was on the Universal lot meeting with Amy Pascal? Who's to say a little filming didn't happen there while he was there, too? Who's to say that didn't happen? Travis says, "Oh, how badly I want to see Spider-Man cornered by Scorpion and Shocker. Then Venom shows up and makes them fear for their lives." I mean, that would be cool. If they dumped a couple of his street-level rogues gallery in there, and then, they think they're about to handle business, and then Venom shows up like, "We are Venom," and they go, "Shit!" That would be cool. I can't imagine Venom showing up without Strange or Wong being on his trail, like with Loki and Thor. It's possible. They could bring one of those two into Spider-Man 4. It is definitely possible. I don't know that they will. I think Kevin's still going to fight for as much grounding to that movie as he can get, so I don't know how many other MCU heroes we're actually going to see in that. But I won't deny that could happen. That definitely cannot be ruled out. Excuse me for just a little bit. Travis says the tricky thing is not making this a retread of No Way Home. Oh, that's totally what Sony wanted to do. Like they wanted Toby back, they wanted Andrew back. They just wanted to. All they saw was, oh, those three together equals almost $2 billion. Let's fucking do it. But that's not how that works. So, yeah, in terms of, I don't think we're going to see Toby and Andrew in this. I mean, is Sony in charge technically, so it's possible, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is just a guess, complete speculation, hunch, if you will. But I think those two not being in it ended up being part of the negotiation. I think Kevin's probably said something along the lines of, okay, we will multiverse this up. We'll bring in Venom. We'll bring in Null. We'll get this thing all huge. But there's only going to be one Spider-Man in this movie. I feel like something like that went down. Obviously, I have no fucking clue. It's a complete guess. But I feel like that might have happened. So, I think this will be, while multiversal, I think this will be different enough from No Way Home to where we will be able to enjoy it without going, God damn it, they just did this shit twice. Travis says, the notion that the MCU doesn't have an Eddie that we know of, true, and Eddie's doesn't have a Peter that we know of, could be fascinating on its own. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's part of the fun. But their universes cross to make a canon event. See, that's another fun thing is Sony has canon events. And the MCU has, well, now we have anchor beings. So in the Spider-Verse movies, the health of a universe is tied to the canon events happening. And as recently established by Deadpool and Wolverine, anchor beings are what keep the Marvel universes intact. So that's going to be one of the fun things for when Sony's obviously going to want to have all their Spideys in their big old Spider-Verse thing, because we know Sony wants that, right? Like, we know that's what they want to do. Like, they already tried to connect the Spider-Verse movies using Miguel and Kang before Kang, thank God, went bye-bye. Yeah, it's gonna when they finally mix the way they want to. It's gonna be interesting how they handle canon events versus anchor beings. Travis says, almost as if the two worlds would fall in on themselves if they don't meet. So them crossing over was of an outside influence. Oh, I see where you're going with that. If Marvel wasn't doing incursions, that would work. But the problem is at least in the MCU right now, if universes start crossing over, that causes an incursion, and they both go bye-bye unless one of the worlds realizes what's going on and completely destroys the other one. So I like your story idea, but it would 100% unfortunately not play the way things are set up right now. Griff says, I think canon events and absolute points are essentially the same. Yes, canon events and absolute points are basically the same. Now, how they're going to mix the anchor beings that they just established into that is where I get clueless. Because if what Sony wants to have happen happens, they're going to have to find a way to mix the two. Especially since I'm 80% sure that Tom Holland's Spider-Man is the 616 anchor being. It's either him or Strange. I'm leaning towards him, but I would also not be surprised one bit if it's Strange. Yeah. But as far as I know, the leading contender for the 616 anchor being is Tom Holland, Peter Parker, Spider-Man. C-Dub says Spider-Verse 3 and Blade movie timeline being the same as in there is no timeline, regardless of what they keep telling us. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Travis says Doom literally grabbing the MCU, Fox Universe, Sony Universe, so on, and pulling them into one would be meta and trippy as hell, but kind of awesome. Well, that's outside of the Sony Universe, that's what he's doing. That's literally what he does. He beats the Beyonders, steals their power, and starts snagging remnants of already destroyed universes. And then, you know, when the 616 and Ultimate Universe finally collide and it's the final incursion, he snags chunks of that shit too. But yeah, that's what he did. And that's probably, again, minus the Sony Universe, how the MCU is going to handle it. Doom will be combining chunks of the MCU, the Fox Universe, possibly some 838, because the Fox Universe is the same universe, which is Earth 1015, based on the post-credit scene for the Marvels. We're pretty sure the Foxverse and Earth 1015 are the same thing. So that actually is gonna that's probably what's gonna happen, actually, Travis. That's what happens in the comics. So Griff says, I'm leaning towards Strange taking on the role of Molecule Man for Secret Wars. Yeah. I mean, that would, while, again, it's not like you said, it's not exactly how it plays out in the comics. What does happen in the comics is Doom and Strange are teamed up when Strange executes his Molecule Man plan against the Beyonders. So I can definitely see that being adjusted for the movies, for sure. Travis says, if our Madam Web was handled better, I could see her being the one who's pulling Spider-Man and Venom together. Now that would make sense. Having the Web of Life and Destiny bring them together, that would make sense. But yeah, Madam Web was ass. Now, it's nowhere near, it's not as bad, but that's basically what the MCU did to Kang. They fucked him up. Sorry about that, excuse me. All right. Anything else? Questions, concerns, speculation, theories? Because if not, I'm going to get on out of here. It's been a long day. Party prep, actual party cleanup. Now I'm streaming. What you guys think? Anything else you guys want to talk about? If there's stuff you want to talk about, I am down to stay. But if there isn't, I'm dipping. Brooks says going to probably head out and finish Penguin, but we'll stick around to see what others have to say. I mean, if you want to finish Penguin, I highly recommend you finish Penguin. Whoops. Wiggled the desk. Excuse me. Who's the drooler? Who put no I drool in my poll? Travis says, great stream again. Have a good night. Thank you, man. As always, I appreciate you stopping by. I appreciate all of you stopping by and hanging out. And if you participated in the chat, dope. If you were just lurking and listening, dope. If you've made it this far into the replay, dope. I appreciate you guys, all of you, no matter what circumstances you are watching or listening to this under. I appreciate you giving me your time. I'm still amazed that you do. But, yeah, I appreciate you guys giving me your time. It's fucking awesome. All right. Ooh, nice. Quick reminder, I am trying to get to 300 subs minimum by the end of the year. Thanks, Griff. Dub stream, he said. Brooks says, I always appreciate the positive and chill atmosphere here, especially during difficult times of life. Well, thank you, man. That's what I'm trying to cultivate here. That's why I think if we can get word out, more people will come here and enjoy the atmosphere you just described. But, ooh, wow. 219. Okay. I'm looking to get at least 81 by the end of the year, guys. And I'm going to need your help. This face can only go so far. Honestly, it's gone farther than I thought it would already. So, if you guys would be so kind as to let your people know, be they friends, be they family, be they coworkers, that they need to come here and check shit out. Share some videos. Steal your friends and family's phones and hop into their YouTube app and sub for me and sub them to me. I don't care. I just want to get to 300, at least 300 subs by the end of this calendar year, and time's fucking running out. It's almost October. So I need your help to get there. So spread the word. Verbally, through sharing things, what have you. Also, I'm considering maybe possibly scraping up enough time to actually do a subathon type deal. I would do it on a Saturday, and I would stick with the 12-hour stream limit. I would go noon to midnight. And try and get people to come in and be like, what's this asshole doing? Ooh, and listen to me talk, and then maybe sub. If you can get, if you guys think that's a good idea, I'll do it. And B, if I do it, I'm going to need your guys' help getting people over here. So, that's something I'm thinking about. I have not yet decided, but I'm strongly considering. Just to see if it works. And if not, well, hell, I got to spend the day on my computer for 12 hours. Oh, no! What a shame that would be. Steve says, why did Josh get so hung up on the lighting of the news scenes at the beginning of Penguin? It was such a minuscule part of the show. Well, I'll tell you, C-Dub. As we know, every once in a while, Josh gets hyper film schooly about shit. So I think this was just him having a film school pet peeve or some bullshit like that. I mean, this ain't the first time we've seen him hyper-focus on some silly shit like that. That's just kind of Josh. When you combine his film school with his being neurodivergent, and I'm not bagging on him, I too am neurodivergent. But yeah, when you combine those two things, you get shit like Josh getting hung up on the lighting of the news scenes. It's just gonna happen. It's just going to happen sometimes, like when he just, goes off randomly about like one small thing is then just shits on everyone and everything for the rest of the fucking stream is, that's his ADD and his anger issues combining. Brooke says, Josh will be Josh, but that's why I like him. He's honest about his opinions. Yes. I mean, I try to be honest about my opinions, too. And obviously, I am also willing to go hard on some things. But, yeah. When Josh goes overboard, it's generally a combination of neurodivergency and being film schooly and that kind of shit. Oh, you like that one, Griff? Hyper film schooly? Yeah. Wait, there's ice cold banana pudding? Is that what I just heard? Damn. Getting a fat guy all excited. Thought I heard someone say there was some banana pudding upstairs. I was about to go nuts. But, yep. All right, y'all. Thank you for being here. If you have not yet joined my Discord or followed me on the TwitX, those links are in the description. Again, if you are here and chatting or lurking, thank you. If you made it this far into the replay, thank you. Please leave comments. Leave your thoughts on what you think about these items and my thoughts as well. Yeah. Hit buttons, leave comments, do all that kind of fun shit for me. Pretty please. And thank you. And, yep. You guys have a good rest of your weekend. Griff, as you were, chat. Right. So you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Hopefully we get more awesome news on Monday and Tuesday, and then we'll be back here Wednesday. Maybe again, me and Justin will again force you guys to be two-tabbing our watch parties. Who knows? We'll see. But, yeah, have a great rest of your weekend, and in some form, fashion, or another, we will see you Wednesday. Appreciate you being here. Bye-bye. Thanks for popping back in, Praise. See you, man. Oh, baby, baby. That was a fun stream, wasn't it, y'all? C-Dub says, I like him for the same reasons. Oh, Josh, right. Sometimes I think he just wants to hate on DC live action everything except Snyder. But hey, that's him, and it's okay. Yeah, he might be letting his Snyder prejudices affect him. Although after Rebel Moon, I'm not quite sure why. Actually, I still have not watched the second director's cut or the director's cut of Part 2 yet, just the first one. Although I gotta say, the first one, his cut, much better than the Netflix one. I mean, that's just comparing those two. It's still not great, but much better. But I still have not gotten around to watching the second one yet. That's fucking 3 hours, bro. I mean, I gotta almost schedule that. So, you know. But any hoodles. Again, my gratitude that you guys hang out and spend time with me knows no bounds. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hope you had a good time. Some of you flat out said you did, and I appreciate that. I hope the rest of you did. And again, like, subscribe, notification bell, leave comments, all that good shit. Hit me up in the Discord and the Twitters. The Discord's fun to, hang out in sometimes. And my Twitter is, well, I try to be as entertaining as possible while also being authentic. So, all right, that's enough tooting of my own horn and all that shit that I need to do in order to try and grow this channel. So, thanks for being here. Love y'all. And remember this one thing. No matter where you're at, no matter who you are with, always keep it nerdy. Peace, y'all. See you next time. One more thing. Harris Heller do be having some slapping beats, man. I literally listen to this shit in my car. I swear to God. Much love. Keep it nerdy. See you next time.